Hi all, welcome back to More Skies Above Britain. Um, this will be Chapter 1, Patrol 4, Part 1. Yeah, I know I threatened to start Patrol 4 last night, but it ended up being about almost 50 minutes long, and it was just me, yeah, overdoing it probably, trying to fix things, and I watched most of that back now, and it's probably a bit complicated if you're not keeping up with things. I dare say Tim and Stu might be following along with what I'm trying to say, trying to fix it, but I will put a comment in the head of that before I release it, basically saying that there's nothing new in that part at all. It's just going over some comments and some mistake. I think it was two sort of major mistakes that I think I put best the fix as I could to, and I feel okay about them. Obviously, yeah. More. The Escort reaction card, missing that draw, I don't feel too bad about that. That was just because afterwards, when I watched it back, I thought I should have drawn a card for that. But the whole thing about turning two rotas into a swarm, I'm annoyed at that, because Martin pointed it out not just once in the rule, but twice. But I was having a look over the rules again today, and I think this is what I miss with this game, is when I've started playing it, usually when I start playing a game, I read over the rules again while I'm starting to play it again. And I've not done that with this game. I've not had the chance to sit and read rules. Anytime I've had the chance, I've been able to play the game. So, but I did a bit of reading today, and I actually think I never took note of it, but I think I actually came across a third mention of that whole thing about if you're attacked by two separate counters, it can still work. From the same attitude, like as in two rotas behind you. Doesn't turn it into a swarm. There's no. Anyway, I'm angry at that. I think the fix for it went okay though, although I was watching back over that and it's pretty hard to follow because I'm sort of lost myself a bit. But I think it was right. And Stu might not want his transfer anymore because he's not in the. He was in the bailout box, but he's not. So maybe I've still got him on board. Maybe. Okay, so just about start Patrol 4, I have set up the vector markers, I've set up the whole squadron, the sections, and I was about to go through the pilots, but I'd like to mention something about that because I'm maybe criticised. Although I don't think I was, but there's maybe more to it than what I was sort of suggesting. I was just sort of suggesting, yeah. Well, I might as well talk about it while we're on it. And that was Tim brought up the fact that these boxes are fatigued. These ones are fatigued for green pilots. These are fatigued for regular pilots, and that's a fatigue box for veteran pilots. Well, just as I was going through my pilots here, seeing who was fatigued for the next mission, now these were all in fatigue boxes, these and these, right? And he was in a fatigue box as well. But now they are now not fatigued, so I've moved them out of the box. However, I then found that ended up only being 4 pilots, these 2 green pilots and these 2 regular pilots that were fatigued. So, and then I thought, well, there you go. I do really want a place to put them right now because I've not picked my pilots to fit in the gaps. And in fact, remember that none of these need to actually fly in this patrol. I can select any of these guys or any of these guys that are not fatigued, and this guy, and if I want, I can add these 2 regular fatigue guys or these 2 green fatigue guys. I think that's kind of silly to do that if you've got enough pilots that you don't need it. So maybe I was making a little less of these fatigue boxes than what should be made, because I think what was annoying me, because I've got the green cubes on them, and you can see that these only fit 2, and if I had more, then I'd need to. But normally you would stack them on top of that, but because I've got green cubes on them, it makes it a little trickier. But I certainly wanted to be able to put these into fatigue boxes just now, so I can see much more relevance for them, and maybe I was not rating them as high as they should be. There you go. So apologies for that. In particular to Tim, because he brought it up. So, okay, and then there's quite a lot of comments went by. I did mention them a lot in part 6 when I was doing these fixes. I mentioned quite a few of them there. There's a few being left in there. Let me just say that the sequence of play to me I need to look over this a bit better. In particular, this vector segment, because Stu mentioned it a couple of times that I'd wasted fuel regarding the tally-ho thing where I didn't need to. Also, Martin brought up the fact, I think, in the vector sequence you can't chase, but you can reform. He brought this up as well, and again, it's because I'm not really looking over the options in these steps as carefully as I should be. Yeah, there's a few comments out there. I have replied to pretty much everything, I think. Some of it's a bit brief, I know, but and 2 or 3, maybe Tim and Stu try to give me some tips on what angles to come in, when, you know, depending on what you're doing. I mean, I don't really like being trying to get strategy tips as such, but maybe I dare say I'm probably saying that while I'm making the record on that. Oh, I wish I knew how good it was to come in from here, or how, you know. I mean, Stu commented that, well, whether he was exaggerating this or not, he says that don't worry, you'll get there. It took me about 200 patrols to get there and understand all this. Whether that's an exaggeration or not, I don't know. It might not be, but that's certainly a lot. However, well, he obviously enjoys the game. If you enjoy a game, then yeah, you will put that time in it. Anyway, it's not that if you want to put down strategy tips, yeah. I mean, I probably should go and study them a bit better and whatever. But I always feel like steering away for that a bit, trying to work it out for myself. But then, how do you know? I mean, some of you are giving me percentages of what's on the cards and whatever, and I also don't like the thought of we can show the cards and counting numbers. And although I have been guilty of looking at certain things, did I not look at the vector markers here to see how many raid markers there were showing, just to get me, because there was a bit like, how many is there? But these are all open information, I guess. I guess it's just I feel there's something wrong about that a little bit, and you should maybe work it out just through playing through the game, It's like learning it and getting it. So I'm not knocking that though, guys. If you want to put down stuff there, that's up for me. Or you know what, somebody else might be looking at the video and saying, "Oh, right, that's good." So I mean, you do that if you like. Whether I studied them fully or not, well, we'll see. We'll see. You'll see if I start doing things a bit better that I've read and understood what you're going on about. Okay, so like I say, there is probably not a lot of comments out there. I'm sure things will pop in my head as they come along. I'm not going to get my tablet over and go through every one because we'd be here for ages. I have replied to pretty much every one, but there is one that I want to go over. Because, Tim had mentioned to me that the straggler that attacked in the last patrol, and we destroyed it. And of course, I made that mistake by not drawing the escort reaction card. We fixed that as best I could. I shuffled up the escort reaction deck, drew a card. The clouds didn't matter, and just to see if we got an ambush. We did not get an ambush, so I got lucky there, and we just put it away. So, whether you think I've shuffled that up accordingly or not, I mean, I'd like to think that if you've watched my videos that I don't do stuff like that, but I mean, I could just as easily have done that to make it easy for myself. I want to play the game. I want to get a result that's also, can any of us play these solo games and not have a little asterisk beside it? Probably not, but there's probably something going by that you say, well, if you didn't do that properly. And I always strive to get everything perfect and not break any rules. Well, I'm not making a very good job of this game, but I think the last, every game I play, there's mistakes. I mean, when the first one that I had done was Enemy Action Ardennes, and I was adamant I wasn't going to get a rule wrong, and Martin followed along with that, and then I was doing well for so long, and then then I crumbled, and then things started showing up here, there, and everywhere. They're difficult games to to do. And I suppose we have the excuse as well, saying that we're recording this and we're doing this and we're trying to do everything at once and whatever. I mean, anybody that does this kind of sort of thing that I do, we've got that excuse as well. Whether it's legitimately an excuse or not, I dare say there's something to it. But yeah, I mean, I could just as easily say, let's Stu and Tim have been well. Tim has been doing his playthrough too. I've not got around to watching his stuff. I've not had the time and whatever. But whether he's got much wrong or not, I don't know. He seems pretty keyed up on the rules, so maybe I'll get around to seeing it and see how he gets on at some point. Anyway, right. So the one he brought up was a straggler. We destroyed it. Okay. So he made a comment about. You shouldn't have put the destroyed marker in the blah blah blah. Well, I didn't understand it fully till I clicked the link. He had it timestamped, which was good, and then I was like, because I replied at first, and then I looked at the link closely, and then the penny dropped that yeah, it does matter, Grant, it does matter. And what I thought he meant at first, we had the straggler. I actually think it was before we made contact, wasn't it? Was it before we even laid out the bomb? Yeah, well, no, it clearly was before we had laid out the bomber tiles, because then I wouldn't have done what I'd done, and then, you know what, that might have then triggered me getting this wrong, if we had these set out. So I've just got 3 Stuka tiles here. We know there was 6 of them, and I can't remember how they were. But anyway, so, well, in actual fact, no, these weren't here. We done the straggler, we destroyed it. So Grant says, right, it's destroyed marker, right, it can't go on anything here. And then I must have just went in a wee sort of dream world. What I thought Tim had meant, and what I thought I had done was, I had laid the destroyed marker in the bomber formation area. Not on a tile, but just in the area. To just do, because I don't count up my bomber points to the end. That's what I wasn't counting them up till the end. So this is a straggler sitting here. It's doing no harm, and that's initially my reply to Tim was, well, yeah, I guess, but it's not really doing any harm here, and I can count that as because you get 1 victory point for that at the end. It's not really doing any harm. However, these weren't here at the time, and what I done was I put it up into here, right. So I put it into there along with a couple of damage markers that come from the flak, right? And that shouldn't have been put there, because then when I laid out my bomber formation like this, and let's say there were 6 others, and then I rolled for the flak damage markers that were there. Well, in fact, I rolled for this one first and randomly placed this. I think it ended up on the one down at the bottom, down here somewhere, I think, or it was on that tile somewhere, and I placed that on a actual bomber. Well, the straggler was not one of these, and that shouldn't have been done. And although yes, it is worth a point to me, it wasn't. You know what? I also marked that as with a green cube, didn't I? So I never even scored the point for it, if I recall rightly. Because I'm pretty sure we had... No. Yeah, we had 4 destroyed markers up here. One of them was marked with a green cube to say that it had come from flak. So what I've done is I put that destroyed marker up there and then brought it down here and thought it came from flak. So I've done myself out a victory point there as well, I think. What I was going to try and do was look back and see if this destroyed marker on this tile made any difference to any of the outcomes that we carried out. I think fortunately it was on one of the tiles, but remember, I would have been counting this as a marker when I counted up for my disruption, and that should not have been there. If anything, it should have just been lying here. You know, if I wanted to do it that way, I should have just left it here as a destroyed marker, even when the bomber tiles weren't there. Just leave it here, and I don't know, I mean, it's probably going to confuse me, but that's what it confused me up there, because I've actually brought it down thinking it was flak that destroyed a bomber. So that's even worse. Right, so I might I might have actually got myself an extra victory point out of this, but the thing is, if I look back in the video footage and that marker affected some of the cards that we had regarding disruption, or what's the other one, distress, then that could make a right mess of things. I actually want to say one of those disruption rolls was quite close, wasn't it? I want to say we needed an 8 at some point. We only had 7 markers. I would have been counting this marker, and then I had a damage to put on first to give me the 8, which technically would have only been 7. If that's the case, I cannot fix that. The best I can do with that is not take that victory point that I hadn't took. But that's pretty crap as well. I'm not happy with that. Yeah, but I can't fix that. I can't fix it because that disruption then. Yeah, I seem to recall that there was a close call, and it was an 8. Yeah, well, there's nothing you can do about that now, Grant. I don't think. I think you just have to move on. What? Like I say, I won't go back and try and take that victory point back for that straggler now. Then, that's the only way I can make amends. It's not really. Okay, I found a fix to this, but you're just going to have to probably believe me. I don't think any's are going to be able to track this down. So I was right in saying when I done the disruption and I thought I had 8, and well, I thought I had 7 but there was a damage on the card that we drew as well, which was giving me 8. However, that 8 was also counting this destroyed straggler that I put in the thing, so it shouldn't have been. Now, the next again, I looked at the disruption option on the next card that was drawn because it was all yellow. It was yellow. No, hold on. It was blue and yellow that were attacking to get the disruption. I think. You know, it was all about yellow, Grant, wasn't it? Why did yellow leader come last? I don't want to go back and look on it, right? So I looked at the very third attack would have been enough to disrupt that tile. So I looked at obviously the differences, and the one thing that happened is yellow leader, right, and his pilot is O. Right, I took note of the pilot, so I don't want to move him out of there just yet because he's throwing 2 missions. Anyway, he was the one that would have caused a disruption on the tile, splitting the tiles up, which would have worked fine. However, he was the third one to do it. I mustn't have been yellow because I usually attack with the leaders first. So whether it was, I think it was blue, two blue aircraft, and then yellow leader attack last. So he would have one that would have legally caused the disruption, right? However, on that card, there was a return fire. And also, we were attacking from the flank, and this was the first round, wasn't it? It would have been. Yeah, so he's got that penalty. We've got to draw, and if we draw a hit, then we've got to go and draw another hit and take the highest one. Right, okay, I'm talking rubbish. It wasn't yellow leader, it was yellow 2. He was the third one. He was the one that would have caused the disruption. Yellow leader, we gave yellow leader the disruption result and shouldn't have got it. Yellow 3 followed next. However, his disruption would have been a 10, which wasn't enough. And then yellow 2 attacked third, but of course I wasn't looking at the top row anymore. I was looking in the middle row. Yellow 2 followed next, and the disruption number on that was a 7. That would have caused the disruption. However, there would have been a return fire on that. And it was the first round, so I'm going to do a return fire on yellow 2. Now that was his pilot there, C. whoever that actually is. That's Hal Schmidt. That's Hal. So he's flying his first patrol. Oh, sorry, Hal. This could be bad then. So I'm going to draw the chit for him, because we had him just sitting nice. I think he just Yellow 2 just returned to base, but he should have been checking for things here. So I'm going to draw now this is just a return fire, so if we get lucky and it's not a hit marker, we might get sort of away with this. Because I looked at his follow-up actions and there was nothing really doing. Oh, look at this. I genuinely, honestly, like, I just, I'm getting away with this. So I don't need to draw another damage marker, because that's not damage, that was just low ammo. And I want to see he done nothing else after that. Now, he was involved in something else with Grant. But I'm sure I looked at it and it done nothing. See, this is why, but why do you bother so much with this, Grant? Because nobody's going to follow this either. It's just for my own sanity, I guess. It's just to try and make it feel better for myself that, I've made a mistake there and that I've fixed it somehow. But I'm just maybe confusing people, really, I'm not. Right, well, hold on. Okay, I can definitely get away with this. The Yellow 2 does participate in an attack again, but at that time he should actually be no ammo, because there should have been a low ammo. Twice he should have had low ammo on him. So there should have been no ammo, so he shouldn't have been able to participate in the attack. He did deal a dorsal gunner damage to the bomber, which I marked up. However, that shouldn't have been marked up because he had no ammo and he shouldn't have been, well, I probably would have returned him to base, to be honest. However, the final guy that attacked, I can't remember if it was Yellow 3 or who it was, actually got 2 damage, and there was already 1 damage on, well, I had 2 damage markers on the bomber because I'd had the dorsal gunner. There should only been 1 on it, but this other guy, he actually dealt 2 damage. So I'm giving myself this. I'm getting away with this. And you know what else I'm going to do? I'm getting the extra point for the straggler. There, you might be booing to that one, and I could understand that. But if somebody wants to look back on it and tell me that I've got that wrong, if you want to go all the way back and look through all that stuff, then be my guest. So we actually killed 4 bombers there, because, like I say, the one that was marked with the green cube, I had been thinking it was marked because it was a flak, but it wasn't. It was because I stupidly put it over onto the interception map, which I shouldn't have done. So you know how many? You know that means I'm getting 10 victory points again, and not 9. So yeah, that's maybe a little bit controversial. Maybe I should have left that. But if I'm going to go back and try and fix things, and I see a way of it being fixed and also benefiting myself, then yeah, I will do that if it's fixing something. Now, maybe, possibly I should have said, well, you made a mistake there, why not leave the victory point? No, that victory point should have been scored. It just shouldn't have been, it should have been done in a slightly different way. Okay, come on, I want to get some gameplay. That was the whole point of this, and I'm 24 minutes in. Anyway, that was another mistake. Thanks, Tim, and sorry to have challenged you at first and said, well, that doesn't really make any difference. Well, yeah, it does, but I hadn't, admittedly, looked at it properly and realised what it was that I had done and what you pointed out. Yeah, I'll need to be much more careful with that. Yeah, I think if the destroyed marker had just been left here, it would have been alright, but I'm starting to think that might confuse me too. So maybe if I do a straggler again, I should just mark it down in the bomber box with a little 1 to say that that's a bomber victory point. Anyway, okay. So now I've got to fix my pilots, and I've just lost my roster. It's blown away because I've got this cooler on. Hang on. So yeah, so I've got to pick. There's nobody. How many? You need to fly about 5 missions. Is it 5 patrols to go up? Yeah, we're nowhere near any of that. Is that right? Or to go from green to regular though? Hang on, Grant. That could just be 3. Couldn't that? Although, I mean, none of my green pilots there look. Oh, hold on. I'm looking at bomber kills. Is it? No, I think the kills only give you access to ace skills, don't they? It's the amount of patrols that you fly give you access to leveling up your pilots, I think, isn't it? So, hang on. Yeah, page 49, experience. Pilots ranging in experience from green to veteran. Experience is measured in the number of patrols that the pilot flies. Yeah, when I say level up, I mean like experience, but that's kind of leveling you up, you know, sort of. As a pilot survives patrols, he will gradually shed his green status and eventually become veteran. And then a remarkable few will gain 1 or more ace skills. An ace skill is gained by accumulating 5 kills. So you can see every there. I mean, I'm yet to confirm that one. If anybody wants to confirm that one from me, he's killed 1 escort. Oh no, that's just for victory points, Grant. No, forget that, scrap that. Because it's 4 escort kills to gain 1 victory point. Well, I will leave that question. Do the 4 kills, like see we've got 2 escort kills at the moment. If I kill another 2 escorts, let's just stay in patrol 4 here, does that give me a victory point? Or do they all need to come in the same patrol? That's my question, right? But yeah, he's got 3 kills there, so if he manages to shoot down another couple, he's going to get an ace skill. So how do you move from green to regular? When a green pilot survives 4 patrols, they lose their green status and become regular pilots. Okay, well, we've only flown 3, and yeah, the most anybody's flown is 2. So Tansy there, he's got 2 patrols, but now he's going to send the next one out probably. You know, same with Peters. He's got 2 in green, but he's going to send the next. He's fatigued at the moment, and hence the reason why I was saying about these boxes are relevant. So how are we going to fill in the blanks here? So I don't know if because Brown. Where's Brown? Brown's there. He's available, and he flew mission patrols 1 and 2, so he could fly another one. But I suppose how many do you need to get for veteran? How'd you get to veteran then? Veteran. After he survives 5 patrols, but that doesn't count the green ones, obviously. So a regular pilot that flies 5 patrols will become veteran. So I suppose it would be a good reason to give him a run out to try and get to the 5 patrols. I think what might be more important is the green pilots though. Like see myself there. I'm available again. You know, you're saying, yeah, pick yourself. So this is patrol 4, and I need to. How many was it? It was 4. I need to fly. See, but if I fly patrol 4 and patrol 5, I'll then become regular. I'll lose my green status. So I think it makes sense. And same with Moffat. So I think I'm going to fly these guys. So Lang and Moffat, because they're the 2 green pilots that could. Yeah, well, to be honest, you've got Robert. Well, he's only flown 1 though, isn't he? Whereas if I do Tansy, I can't because he's fatigued. Well, it doesn't seem right to do that. So I think I want myself and Moffat back in. So I've got a green pilot there. So let's take me and put me. I'll try to keep the green ones on number 3, but so I'm going to put Lang in there, and I'm going to put Moffat in there, and I mean, yeah, I could use more of the green ones, but I think I might not do that. But what about this one, K? So he's only flown one, so that's fine. A, that's Martin, he's only flown one, that's fine as well. N is Newman's only flown one. Well, they must only flown one because I've not moved them out the fatigue box. Well, actually, did you check them all? Yeah, and that's Hal Schmidt. He's alright, so I could leave him on. J, right, that's Stu. So if he flies this one, that's his second. Yeah, we'll give him. Well, we'll let him hang around, aye. We'll let him hang around for now. And W. Warren is our veteran. So we probably should have him, but then he's going to be fatigued at the end of this patrol as well. So let's just fill in the rest with Every for the first two patrols. So that's him. He's going to go in. And then what have we got? D and B. We've got Drake. This is Alistair. He's going to go in there. Because he flew the first two as well. And then Brown, he flew the first two. So we're going to make him green leader. Oh, we... Why am I saying Warren was a veteran? Yeah, sorry, that's the guy that's got the ace. H. Hall, yeah, he flew the first two as well. Yeah, we want him then. We want him. Well, we've got a veteran along there. Let's switch out Drake. Let's put him along there. And put our ace leader of the yellow. Or should he not be with a green pilot maybe? The ace one. What was it? Lucky Charm? During a dogfight, the bar when you draw a dog. Oh no, it only affects himself anyway, isn't it? Okay, well yeah, we'll put him there. Right. I think that's it. And these two are green pilots that are fatigued. These two are regular pilots that are fatigued. These two are just available green pilots. So we could have been using these two as well, but I think that. And then we've got G, that's Grant up there. He bailed out, so he's got to skip this mission, this patrol. What I should do now that I've set that though is probably bring him down now, shouldn't I? Because that's a set of pilots. Because if I leave him up there, I might think he's bailed out. It says sit out the next patrol. So he has set out. He is going to set out patrol number 4, and I'm now going to put him in the regular pilots. But I think that's right. I think it's okay to move him now. Oh, well, no. What I should have done was fill out everybody that's going to fly patrol 4 first. Right, but I know I can't use him. Right, okay, so I think I've got that. So every one of the ones that are shown on patrol 4 here, there should be 12 of them. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 down the bottom there. So that's it. Good. Sorted. Right, let's do it. So that's our pilot sorted out. And I'll not push that right at the top just now until we start needing the bombers out, whatever. So yeah, I've set the vector markers. I do need to roll for the where squadron's starting. So 1 to 5 is going to be deep, etc. So let's roll for that. That's a 6, so it's going to be middle. So middle for the squadron marker, which goes on here. Vector marker sorted. That's sorted. My pilots have sorted. Visibility. I need to check for visibility. So a 1. Well, it's actually a 1 to 9 will be sun. 1 to 8 is clear sun, and a 9's hazy sun, and then it gets cloudy after that. So that was an 11. So that we've got no sun. So haze, no sun is 11. Yeah. So we don't roll for this because there's no sun. Yeah. Okay, but you can see there's a lot of the vector markers that mess about with the weather, isn't there, and the sun. So we're getting no sun, haze, Move the book a little bit. So no sun, haze, and of course, yeah, we don't need the sun marker because there's no sun. Well, really, yeah. Okay, right. I think I'm ready. So 35 minutes. Well, I'll get things started. Yeah, and we don't set up the escort stations or the bomber types yet. This is Patrol 4. There's only 6 of them, remember? So yeah. Oh, is there fatigue markers? There is, yeah. And exhaustion markers. Apparently. Didn't see them anywhere. Yeah, there's a fatigue marker, so I suppose you could use them. Well, to be honest, if you were using the pilot in your raid and you had to use them, well, or you wanted to use them, it says a fatigue pilot suffers a -1 die roll modifier during recovery, fate checks, both die rolls, and collision checks. And he loses his fatigue status by not flying one patrol. For example, pilot fires. Yeah, actually, you can also have been bailed out. Is that right? Pilot is now. Yeah, because I think who was the guy? It was Grant that was bailed out. He was actually going to be fatigued as well this turn, I think. So that's fine. He just skips. He has to skip the next mission, next patrol because he'd bailed out. But then it doesn't. You know, he doesn't have to suffer the fatigue then. You know, he's missed a mission, so that's fine. I'm sure it says that somewhere. Or it talks about the hospital. I think you can sit in the hospital and lose your fatigue as well. Yeah. Anyway, okay. Right, let's get this game going again, because I'm wanting to do some stuff. And yeah, I'll end up doing similar things to what I've been doing. Right, and I shuffled all the decks. I've shuffled the bomber decks too, but we don't know what the bombers are going to be. And yeah, we're good to go. So, shall we just cycle along with the cards again? Why not? Yeah, it keeps you straight. I think I went right through the RAF game, the playthrough, using the cards. I maybe sort of went through them quicker as things went on, but I think I still used the cards right to the end, to be honest. It's a good way of keeping you right. Well, you would think it should be, but Grant's still finding ways to blunder his way through this. Okay. Raid markers not yet in play, reveal markers in the rightmost space. Okay. So that's the first step. So we're gonna reveal. Just double checking I've got everything. I think so. Yeah, I've got all my pilots. And there's one pilot that was killed in action that's set aside. Obviously, after every patrol, you get to replace one. So I've only got one missing off the thing because we only. Let's say Patrol 2, we didn't lose anybody. Patrol 3, we lost Foster there. He was killed in action. That's the only one now we've got. So, but we lost, what was it, 3 of them in the first patrol, wasn't it? Or was it 2? 2 or 3 anyway. Right, reveal. Let's do it, Grant. Let's reveal some vector markers. So the first one is going to be. Right, we're messing with the sun already, and then new trade. Well, there's no bombers out yet, so I don't know. Well, we'll go to card 7 to start with. 7. Right, well, remember we've not got sun. If there is no sun, so obviously even or odd would move the sun. If there's no sun, visibility is now clear and the sun's position is. So visibility is now clear. That didn't last long. And the sun's position is now, well, we're going to roll on that. 1 to 3 it's nose and then etc. 4. So it's tail by the looks. 4 to 6 is tail, so we need the sun marker now. And it's in the tail, so tail high sun, which covers the high station, and for us, we cover the tail position on the intersection map. Right, and then we go back to card 1. And there is another marker, which is new trade. But like I say, we've not got, so I'm not quite sure we go to card 4. There's no bomber trials in play yet, so it messes about with them. Well, it isolates some of them, I think. Which, that's quite a good thing then. That's giving us points, isn't it? Well, if they were in play, yeah. So if raid marker is not if raid marker is not yet in play, go to it treats it as a raid result. Well, yeah, I remember that happening. Watching back, because I thought I'd made a blunder there, but yeah, that happens at the end of the last patrol, I think, doesn't it? So yeah, if raid marker is not yet in play, go to card 5A and treat as raid result. I'm just going to open that up in the rulebook. If raid marker is not yet on the raid track, treat this as a raid result instead. Okay, and that's what card 5A is going to be. Right, let's be careful here about the whole tally ho, because apparently I think we've done it more than once, spent fuel, or could have done something easier than we were making it. No guarantees I'm going to get it right again this time, but I'll maybe think more about it since it's been brought to my attention. So if the raid marker is not yet in play, place the raid marker in the vector marker space on the raid track. Well, there we go. The raid marker's in right away. So it goes in here, and remember it's over the channel. So while it's in that space, anybody that goes to the fate track needs to take a channel recovery marker with them. And then right, raid marker's not in play, place the raid marker on the vector marker. Right, visibility is clear, roll a die to place escort station markers. Oh yeah, we're getting them now as well, aren't we? So we're getting that right away. Visibility is clear, and it is. It's clear. I almost blundered. We had it in haze the last time, but this time it is in clear, so we're going to check the situation manual for this one. Again, campaign, chapter 1. So, and obviously these are going to be different in each chapter, aren't they? These and these and these. I'm pretty sure these are all going to be different, aren't they? So anyway, we're going to roll on this. We'll just roll first and see. The higher the better for us, I want to say, in general. And well, a 12 is amazing. So let's get a 12. No, not to be a 6. Yeah, it's still probably going to be 2, because you need to get really high up to avoid 2. So 6 to 7, well, they're not heavy, but we've got a head and we've got the horrible high. They are both 109s, so 109 and 109. They're not heavy. We've got a head and high, and I think it was a weed and trailing that Stu had says that they won't draw cards. They won't attack from there. But that's a head and high. So okay. So visibility is clear, roll a die to place this, apply the result indicated in the situation manual, then go back to card 1 again. So yeah, so do I not mess with the sun? No. Oh, that's if it's already on the track, you would mess with the sun. Okay, so that was it, just go and play. So now we go back to card 1. And well, things are different now because the raid marker is not yet in play. That wasn't in play, it just went in play since we played that. So if the raid marker is in play now, reveal the vector markers in its space of the track one at a time. Okay, so yeah, I think the fact that it's happened halfway through there, I don't think it matters. This is going away and it's still sitting in this bit, so we're now going to reveal that. But see if we get a raid marker on this, the bombers have dropped the bombs. That's right, isn't it? That's why sometimes you're just not going to get a chance with this. Okay, so we've still got an inbound vector marker in this space, so here we go. Right, well, it's not. We've got lucky again. Straggler. So this time, yeah, it looked like it was a good idea when we had stuff out of contact, but there's no way I'm going to take one of my sections away to go after this straggler. So no. So we're going to, that is a May option, so we're going to take that away. And then it says, if all markers in the space have been revealed, go to card 9, fuel step. Yeah. Yeah, okay, that's fine. I thought it was jumping me on awful far there, but it's not. It's fine. You know what? We've not got any fuel cubes up there either. So we've got the fuel step. We've got some fuel markers. Everybody's as is. Yeah, no, it's only the coast one you start by spending 3 fuel, isn't it? So we were starting here. We've just moved down 1 to there. And that is that. We move on to card 10A, contact. Okay. Maybe this is where I need to think then. And so contact. If the raid marker is not yet in the raid track, skip this step. Well, it is. If the raid marker is on the raid track, you may perform contact if squadron is in the same or adjacent zone to the raid marker. Well, we could do this, but I'm wondering if now we should think about this and maybe not do it. However, I have just said, and remember when that, yeah, because if we don't do this, is that not going to move into there and then go through these 4 vector markers? And the only way we can get lucky with that one is if we get the flak on top of the, or is it the raid, the flak on top of the raid marker? Oh, I'll tell you, it shows you on this next card, does it not? No, it doesn't. It's a tally-ho thing. It's obviously not that card. So because this is a May, you may perform contact, right? So let's just say we don't, right? Let's see where we move on to. So we don't do any of this, and then we come back to the vector card. Right, hang on though. Yeah, this is where you would skip to card 12 and skip the vector. Because if you make contact, you move your squadron boat to the intersection map and go to card 12. And remember, contact's automatic. Contact is automatic, but the die roll depends on where you end up being. Yeah. So we would go back to this vector card. So then we do a move or reform action to improve your squadron situation, or do nothing. You may not move and reform. So this is the one that we could do both and spend the fuel. So this is the one that we could go to here and go to high altitude. Right? And then if we've done that, we then go back to card 1, which is reveal, and hang on, is this not the bit that's missing the information that says move it along? I don't know, or is that just me? If the raid marker is in play, move the raid marker to the next space. See, it doesn't say that. Because I almost sort of got caught with that the very first time it come up, because I don't really know what it is what you're doing when you're first getting into the game. So it doesn't say to move it along. And then I started thinking, well, there's nothing to reveal. So if all markers in the space have been revealed, go to card 9. I think that's what I wanted to do. And then I thought I'd just check the rulebook, and the rulebook says, if the raid marker's in play, move the raid marker to the next space in the raid track. Then reveal the vector marker. Well, there's some other information there, but then reveal the vector markers. So that's what's now going to happen in the next step if we don't attempt contact. So I think we have to try and contact. I feel like that's what I should try to do. Because at least if we can get on there, think. We're going to be adjacent at low altitude, so yeah, it's not going to be good. Well, actually, it's not 10A we need then, it's 10B. 10B is the adjacent one, isn't it? So that's what we're looking at. The best we can get is, and there's no clouds, so the best we can get is a 9 to 12. Well, you know what? I thought nose high would have been a better option for me last time, and I didn't take it because I was in the sun and I was all excited. Oh, we're in the sun, let's do that instead. I think it worked out all right in the end, but nose high is pretty good. But then that's a 9 to 12. Now we do get a re-roll on that, don't we? And then remember, we've got to spend the fuel because it's adjacent. I think I should do this. I don't think you should ever give up the opportunity to just do this then. Because what's the chances, again, that the bomber's not? And then once they've dropped, that's it. Yeah, okay, let's do it. I take the cards out of there a little bit. So, because this is the one that tells the... Oh, actually, no, you can't re-roll this one, Grant. This is not what I'm thinking about. This is not the... What is it called? Intercept. This is not the intercept. So, there's no... Well, there's the modifiers to these here. But we're not using this one because we're not in the same zone. So... Yeah, but I tell you what, even getting nose high on that one, you need that 10. Tail low, flank low, yeah. 9 to 12. That's what I want. Modifier -2 if it clouds. Right. Okay. So I'm going to, because we're in an adjacent zone, I'm going to spend the fuel. Okay. So let's slide along again, and then we're going to roll. I'm going to roll an 11 here. That's what I'm going to roll. Well, that's what I'm wanting to roll. No modifiers, because we want nose low, and then we're going to spend another fuel to go nose high. So let's see, a 9 or better. Come on, let's do it. Let's keep it rolling. No, he was trying. 7. It's not too bad, but I suppose it's not the worst one. So we've got tail low, or we could go flank low. And tail low is rubbish, isn't it? Well, I don't know. If I looked at some of the comments the guys had been saying, they'd be telling me which one would be. I get the impression flank's better. I mean, that's why you're spending an extra fuel, but tail low, what's the penalty you get for that? Yeah, it's like you get all the hit markers and that, innit? Well, I suppose the intercept bombers is the one thing is you've got the high escort station again, so yeah. So here we are, probably zoom out a bit, Grant. Tail low, or we could go flank low. So there's tail low. That's going to be a 10, look. Oh, it's worse, it's an 11, because we're low. So 109's in the high station is 11. I mean, that's the biggest number on that chart. I don't even need to look at the other one. It is in their heads, which is much more a nicer number, but the high one's just horrible. But look at flank low. Flank low's just the same. Sorry, flank low in the high position is an 11 as well. So, well, hold on. What we want to do then is cruise. Now, if we cruise, there's a risk of escorts coming to get us. But is there a risk after we've cruised? Is the next step, is the next bit going to be that this is going along here and they're going to look through vector markers? That's what I need to understand. Because if we, yeah, we're going to appear on the map at somewhere, and then it looks to me like an 11's unrealistic to try and achieve. So we're not going to go give a bomber order, bomber and interception order. We're going to give a cruise order, and hopefully that might succeed and move us to a better position. Then we come entropy, but then do we not just come? How? Yeah, because there, the raid vector step down here, move raid marker and reveal raid vector markers. I don't think there's any way around that, is there? I don't think I can. If I just cruise to a different position, this is going to happen, isn't it? And 4 vector markers. And that's the reason this chapter, if I looked, I'm pretty sure if I look in chapter 2 right now, there's not going to be 4 of these in here. Let's look. Let's just look at chapter 2. I've not looked at anything in it. Well, there you go. There you go. There's chapter 2. This is the hardest days. So it starts with a 1, then a 2, then a 2, then a 3. So you can see that it's easier to get at the raid. But we've been lucky. We've had flown 3 patrols and got out of the raid every time. And like the comment that on that thread on BGG, it's not likely that you're going to get out of the raid every time, you know. I think we've just been quite lucky. I think we're going to struggle this time though, because if we take a chance and go for the bombers, we need an 11 on the dice. Yeah, we get a re-roll at that. Well, so we get two rolls at an 11. Well, if that was the case, why not bother making contact and just go try and position yourself better, Grant? Or am I past that? Did I roll a dice or something? I did, didn't I? Yeah. So in actual fact, I'm in the stage now either picking nose low or tail low or flank low. I need to know the cruise stuff, cruise check, escort type, high station. Yeah, see that's horrible as well. That high station's horrible, isn't it? Yeah. So I'm probably going to get intercepted by escorts as well if I try and cruise. Yeah, I can understand why you did. Well, again, it was possibly an exaggeration. I suppose that I shouldn't challenge anybody if they've said they've played 200 patrols. Feels like it's an exaggeration, but maybe not. But I can see why you would need, when you played this more times, and it's the same as any game, I suppose, isn't it? You start understanding what the better options are. Okay, Grant, what are you going to do? I'm getting that right. I'm gonna, if I do the cruise thing instead, my guess is I think we're going to fail and we're going to get a dogfight against us. I don't know what that attacks. If it attacks one of our one of our sections, I'm not sure. I need to look into that. I mean, even if we try going after the escorts, it's still going to come down here and move the vector markers on, and probably causing the bombs to be dropped. There's nothing you can really do about that then. Nothing, I don't think. So you need to just... yeah, you need to do your best and get in at the bomber formation and just hopefully knock out some bomber, destroy some bombers. You know, you can't succeed at isolating all the tiles every patrol, especially in this first chapter. And yet we've done it 3 times now. Well, we did. I think the first one we didn't get them all, did we? But I'm pretty sure we could have. If I went back and done that again, I'm pretty sure we could have done it. Now that I know how it works. Right, okay, so I think if I'm going to cruise, there's no point going flank low, is there, and spending on our fuel. I'm better just going to tail low, I think. If that's my intention. What is the... Let's set escort. Tail low and flank low. I'm sure this is horrible as well. Tail low... Yeah, that's ridiculous. And flank low is even worse. Yeah, just thinking of stupid thoughts, I think. Right, so I'm just going to go in at tail low then. We spent the fuel for this, so I'm going tail low, and obviously we're not going to have to spend any more fuel. So, yeah, we're in there, and it's a pity. We're tail high, yeah, be in the sun. So that's where it's going. And okay, maybe that should be pointing that way, I suppose. I suppose maybe well, I don't know, I've left them kind of that way because I suppose everyone's... Well, actually, the planes are flying that way as they're sitting that way, aren't they? So maybe that is right. Anyway, that should be the direction of our squadron, though, shouldn't it? Right, I see I'm at an hour there. Bit of a terrible time to... Well, it's not a terrible time to stop, but I've not done an awful lot, have I? Pretty much an introduction again, I think. However, that is us made contact, isn't it? So then move your squadron. Oh, yeah. Let's finish off this because it's going to move the squadron, but also all lost contact fighters must immediately return to base. Place escort station markers on the map. Place bomber tiles in the bomber formation area, but the furthest visibility is clouds. Well, it's not. So we're going to place the bombers, and we've done the escort station markers, and then we're going to go to card 12, which is our orders, isn't it? So we're going to be sitting with this. I'm probably just going to cut the video and come back to that next part, I think, because this is an hour. So yeah, and I'm thinking about splitting our squadron up into 2, and I don't know what I'm thinking. Right, let's get the bomber tile set up before we go here then. So there we are, and again, as usual, it's a 1 to 6, but pretty sure that's going to change next chapter as well, because I know the Stukas got eventually. I don't think the Stukas worked very well for the Germans, so 1 to 6 is Stukas, and then etc. See what we get. 4, so Stukas again. And let's just see which pattern we get. 1 to 5, 6 to 10, 11 to 12. That's 3, so it's not the same, the one that we've had twice already, I think. So it's this one here, which is still 6 tiles. I should still have them here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is indeed. And then I'm probably going to do the same, I think, and move that. I'll move the sun about over the place. Yeah, I'm probably going to do it that way, so that it's like that, I think. So let me just see if I can create that. Right, okay, I think that's it. We've got 1, 2, 3, and then that looks right, eh? 1, 2, 3, and then that one's separate, yeah. So that's the setup, with no damage markers this time to put on it, and no destroyed markers either, Grant. Let's see. That was a silly one. Again. Yeah, a lot of silly things going on, Grant. Okay, I'm going to come back. I'm going to leave it for now. I might be back pretty soon. I'll just take a quick break here, and then come back. And I should maybe think about what I'm going to do here, though. I'm thinking about splitting it up into two. You know, flight A and flight B, and I was going to give them different cruise orders, but that's probably silly, isn't it? I don't know. I mean, I've looked at the chances of me intercepting escorts, and remember, you still go and fight the escorts, you've still got a chance of suppressing them. But they're not. I need an 11 or a 12, right? 10 or 11 or 12 to do anything to succeed there. But then remember, you still go and get to do that. It's the bombers one that's different though, because if you don't roll a die for the bombers, you just don't get to do it. That's right, isn't it? Bombers. I mean, you get intercepted. That's it, bombers. Yeah, if you succeed, you go into the bomber formation area. If you fail, it depends on the escort. It's more than likely, contact and German fighters from the station, engage the sections, and there's no escort suppression check, and you just get attacked by the fighters, and then you've got to come around again and try and give the order to go in the bombers again. And rolling a 10, I don't fancy my chances there, even with the extra fuel to try and do it one. Well, possibly I should maybe split it up and maybe do flight A, takes a wee chance and we go for that. Maybe that's worth the gamble. You're going to get 2 die rolls at a 10 by spending 1 fuel. Yeah, I think I asked the question about can you do that more than once, spend the fuel, but I'm pretty sure the answer to that is going to be no, you can. After rolling the die, if you don't like the result, you may spend 1 fuel per section and roll again. If you choose to do that, spend the fuel. The new result is final. There you go. So you can only do it once. Yeah, fair enough. That's kind of what I thought. But okay, I'll think about things, and I'll be back soon with the next part. Cheers.